Hello, everyone, and welcome. If you've ever worked with text-to-speech and subtitles, you know how challenging it can be to get audio to match on-screen text. Whether it's for character animations, tutorials, or voiceovers, that slight desync can be quite noticeable. Today, we're looking at a solution within ComfyUI, the ChatterBox SRT voice TTS node. This node helps you synchronize your generated TTS audio with SRT subtitle files. In this video, we'll explore what the SRT node does and take a close look at its different operational modes. Pad with silence, stretch to fit, and smart natural. I'll explain how each one works based on the underlying code so you can choose the best approach for your projects. Now, let's begin. So, what is the SRT node in ComfyUI and what problems does it aim to solve? The primary function of this node is to take audio generated by a text-to-speech system and align it with the timings in an ISRT subtitle file. An SRT file contains lines of text, each with the start and end time telling when it should appear on screen. The goal is better synchronization for different applications. For animations, it can help make a character's speech appear more aligned with visual cues. For tutorials, it helps ensure the voiceover matches the on-screen actions accurately. For dubbed content, it assists in fitting translated audio to the timing of existing scenes. You'll typically connect your TTS-generated audio to this node, provide your SRT content directly as text, and select a timing mode. The node then outputs the processed audio. The effectiveness of the node depends on the chosen timing mode. So let's explore those. First, let's examine the pad with silence mode. This mode takes each segment of your generated audio and places it at the start time specified by the SRT entry. If the natural duration of your audio is shorter than the SRT time slot, the remaining time is silence before the next segment starts. If your audio is longer than its SRT duration, it will still play in full from its start time, even if it overlaps the next segment. This means audio can extend past the SRT end time if the next subtitle starts soon after. The audio is not cut off, it's allowed to play out. This mode preserves the original speed and pitch of your audio because no time stretching is applied. This results in very natural-sounding speech if the TTS voice has a consistent pace. Now the limitations are potential overlaps. If one audio segment is too long, it can run into the next. This happens because the node prioritizes playing the full audio at the specified start time, regardless of its length. To avoid this, your SRT timings and your speech durations need to be well aligned. You also might end up with long silences if your audio finishes early and the next line is far off. So when is this mode ideal? Use it when natural pace and intonation are critical. It works best if your SRT timings are spaced out nicely or TTS naturally fits durations. Let's check out an example.
Hello, this is the first subtitle. I'll make it long on purpose. This is the second subtitle with precise timing. The audio will match these exact timings.
Next, we have stretch to fit mode. This mode makes the audio match the SRT timing exactly. It stretches or compresses each audio segment to fit the duration of its matching subtitle. If your audio is shorter than the subtitle duration, the audio is slowed down. If it's longer, it's sped up. It always adjusts to fit the SRT time exactly. The node uses a time-stretching algorithm to do this, FFmpeg if available, or a phase vocoder as a fallback. There's also a fade for stretch to fit option to allow short crossfades between segments. The biggest advantage of this mode is that your audio always matches the subtitle timing. This is ideal when you need perfect sync between your voice and the on-screen text. But the downside is heavy time stretching can make audio sound weird or unnatural. Speeding it up too much can make a chipmunk effect. Slowing it down too far can sound robotic. The stretch quality also depends on the algorithm used. FFmpeg generally gives good results. One important thing, this mode does not use min stretch ratio or max stretch ratio settings. It always stretches or compresses as needed to match the subtitle timing exactly. So it's best when exact timing is critical and you're okay with a little audio distortion. Let's check out another example for this mode.
Hello, this is the first subtitle. I'll make it long on purpose. This is the second subtitle with precise timing. The audio will match these exact timings.
Now let's look at the Smart Natural mode, a more adaptive approach to timing. This mode tries to balance natural sounding audio with matching the subtitle timings. First, it generates the audio for a subtitle and gets how long that speech actually takes. Then it checks if that audio fits inside the subtitle slot and whether there's room to shift later segments. If the audio is too long, it might shift the next segment forward in time. But it only shifts forward if the next subtitle has some room or there's a pause available. It respects a timing tolerance setting, so it won't push things too far out of sync. After shifting, it reevaluates the time available and may stretch or compress the audio accordingly. This stretching uses min stretch ratio and max stretch ratio to stay within natural sounding limits. If it still doesn't fit, it will truncate the audio, meaning it will be cut off. Let's look at 3 key parameters used in Smart Natural mode. First is min stretch ratio. This sets how much the audio can be sped up. For example, a value of 1.8 lets the audio be 20% faster than normal. The lower the value, the more aggressively audio can be sped up. Next is max stretch ratio. This controls how much the audio can be slowed down. A value of 1.2 means the audio can be 20% slower than its normal length. A higher number here allows for more relaxed, slower delivery. Then there's timing tolerance. This sets how much the next subtitle can be delayed. It allows Smart Natural to shift later segments forward to make room for longer audio. Now, here's a special use case. Set both min and max stretch ratio to 1.0. This disables all stretching or compressing. The audio plays at its natural speed. If the audio is shorter than its slot, silence is added to fill the gap. But if it's longer and there's no room to shift, the audio is truncated to fit the time. This makes it different from pad with silence, which lets long audio play even if it overlaps. So this setup avoids overlap, but might cut off the end of a segment. That could be preferable if avoiding overlap is more important to you. In general, Smart Natural mode gives you the best balance of timing and audio quality. It adapts intelligently, unlike pad with silence or stretch to fit. The results depend on the stretch ratios and the timing tolerance you choose. Too strict with your settings, and it may fall back to truncation. Too loose, and you may get too much stretching or delay between lines. But with careful tuning, this mode gives very good results. Let's check out a Smart Mode example.
Hello, this is the first subtitle. I'll make it long on purpose. This is the second subtitle with precise timing. The audio will match these exact timings.
Now, Let's adjust this so it behaves like pad with silence, meaning it won't stretch, but take note how it will truncate the audio instead.
Hello, this is the first subtitle. I'll make it. This is the second subtitle with precise. The audio will match these exact timings.
And finally, let's not allow it to slow down, but allow some room for adjustments and some speed up.
Hello, this is the first subtitle. I'll make it long on purpose. This is the second subtitle with precise timing. The audio will match these exact timings.
Now, before we wrap up, let's highlight one last feature. The SRT node has a smart audio caching system that makes iteration much faster. It uses a cache key based on the subtitle text and your TTS generation settings. If you rerun the workflow and nothing about a subtitle has changed, the audio for that subtitle will be loaded straight from memory. This means you don't have to regenerate TTS for every small timing tweak. You can experiment freely with timing modes, stretch ratios, or subtitle durations. The audio will only regenerate if the text or voice settings actually change. And if you only change subtitle number 4, only that audio gets regenerated. Everything else is loaded from the smart audio cache. This makes the whole workflow far more efficient and much faster to iterate. Now let's wrap up with some practical tips for using this node. Start with Smart Natural mode and tweak your stretch ratios. Try min stretch ratio between 0.75 and 0.9 and max around 1.0 to 1.25. The best values depend on your voice, TTS pacing, and the timing of your subtitles. Also, make sure your TTS audio is clear and well-paced from the start. Better input gives better output for synchronization and alignment. Next, watch the SRT node's outputs carefully. They give you important feedback. The audio output is your main result, your aligned TTS audio. The generation info text shows the mode used and cache status. But the most useful one is the timing report. And this shows you, line by line, what happened during alignment. You'll see the original SRT timings and how long each audio segment naturally is. In Smart Natural mode, you'll also see stretch factors, where the segments were shifted, if padding was added, or truncation occurred. In Pad with Silence mode, it flags overlaps and added silence durations. In Stretch to Fit mode, you'll see the stretch ratio per segment. The timing report is essential for understanding how your audio was changed. Another useful output is Adjusted SRT. This gives you an updated SRT file that reflects all the changes from processing. It includes shifted start times, padding, or truncation. Use this file if you want your subtitles to match the final audio exactly. You'll also get warnings about any timing problems found during sync. These outputs are your best tools for refining and understanding your results. Let's wrap up. The ComfyUI SRT node is great for syncing TTS to subtitle timings. Each mode, Pad with Silence, Stretch to Fit, and Smart Natural has different strengths. And Smart Natural with strict ratios can behave like a hybrid of the other two. Use the timing report and adjusted SRT to refine your results. And take advantage of smart caching to speed up your workflow. Experiment, iterate, and find the balance that works best for you. If this video helped you, please give it a like. Consider subscribing for more ComfyUI tips and walkthroughs. If you have questions or cool ways to use this node, drop them in the comments below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.